Okay, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to look at something from Aliexpress that I don't normally ever do. I mean, I do buy a lot from Aliexpress, but this is supposed to be a 4K quadcopter with return, flight coordinate, follow me, all kinds of neat little features are supposed to be in this, packed in this little thing for about under $50. So what I want to do is find out if that is true. Not only did I go for the better copter, I bought the 3 battery pack, and I bought the case, everything. I went with the best package they had. So it also has a 1080p down firing and a 4K camera forward firing. Let's find out how true that is. So I guess first we need to open this up. I can already feel that it's already packed in the case that I bought. So it probably is the better way to buy it. Just in case traveling and whatever and things get broken. But we'll see. See if this one didn't get broken. I've had a few problems with Aliexpress lately. Normally Aliexpress and me are pretty good. But lately I've had a couple little issues. And it hasn't been cool. I'm in a couple little fights right now, so I don't know what that really says there, but I'm guessing it was probably based on what I ordered, so it was probably a packing tag to say this one is ready for that type of thing. So right off the bat, we get this semi-hard case, protective case, which is nice. I mean, you're talking like everything's in here. The charger, the quadcopter, the controller, the batteries, everything's in here. So let's find out if it survived. Dun 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 dun. Okay. So far I guess everything's looking okay. So right off the bat we're greeted with looks like legs. I'm gonna guess that's legs. Let's open it up, take a look. I was gonna say it looks smaller than I thought, but I don't think so. I think it's exactly what I thought it would be as far as size goes, because I mean, let's face it, it's not going to be that big a copter. Okay, so you're greeted with a little mini screwdriver, probably junk, but it's there. Looks like landing gear or protective, maybe flight gear. That's probably what that is. Probably goes on to protect your blades. I shouldn't need that technically, considering I have flown before. A USB charging cable, which is a micro USB, so kind of wish it was USB-C, but it's not. And a bunch of extra blades. So that is definitely a bonus. That I can see possibly needing if something goes... Oh, and I noticed something else here. So there are blades in here, and there's also these knobs, and from what I'm seeing, they need to go on here. I noticed it right away. I was like, huh, looks like there's nothing on those things, and I automatically assumed the flight sticks must need them. So here we go. I don't know if they're really on, but we'll find out. So let's take a look at the batteries first and the instructions here. So apparently I bought this with 3 batteries. So far I only see 2. This is just your instruction booklet. I will go through that if I have to, but we'll have to see how this works out. So here's one of the batteries, and oh, so they charge right off the USB micro right on the battery. Kind of interesting, which means they must have a voltage regulator and everything all built in for the LiPo. So they're probably just like a simple 2-cell or 1-cell. I'm going to say 1-cell LiPo is what I'm thinking. 3.7, so they should be a 1-cell. And then, you know, converter, everything's all built in here, and balancer, whatever, there's no need because it's just a single-cell battery. Let's take a look at the controller. Very simple. This comes down to put your phone on if you want to have a video while you're flying. And wow, this is really feeling cheap. That is the antennas. Wow. That feels absolutely horrible. Takes 3 AAA batteries. I'm gonna tell you, I really would love it if this would hook up. Those are hard to hold. This feels like crap. This is cheap. I'm not gonna lie, this is utter cheap. So let's take a look, and hopefully they didn't skimp out on the helicopter. Now, from what I understand is you should be able to fly this as well with your phone and not have to use that controller if you don't want to. So basically here we have the firing down 1080p camera. The 4K camera, apparently, and it has a pivot. It's feeling pretty cheap. There's an antenna for the 2.4 or for the camera, and this must be the other battery. So here we go. This is the other battery. So that slides in like so, boom, and we have the battery. Now, for this, it's just basically supposed to be just a pull-out system. I guess that needs to be pulled out first. And away we go. It is an extremely light quadcopter, okay? So there's so many of these on the website boasting what they can do and the features that are in them and so on, but wow, that is light. Now, of course, I do not expect this to have brushless motors by any means. My question now even is if this is even good enough for battery is dead, so that tells me that. I'm not totally sold on this yet. Overall, I mean, it's one cool looking copter. I mean, that's kind of badass coming at you, you know, and then it's got the lights here. Ooh, P5 Pro. There's nothing pro about this, people. I mean, I don't know what to expect from plastic on a flight helicopter. I'm guessing it has to be light anyway, but I don't know how durable this is going to be, so that's kind of bugging me, and how well it's going to fly. So what we're going to do is we're going to charge this bad boy up, and we're going to take it through its paces and find out is it really worth it? Like, is this a piece of junk? Is it just a kid's toy? Or does it have some promise? I just want something, I'll call it a perimeter drone, just something to fly around my house. If I wanted to look at the roof or anything like that, and so on. I do have some smaller hobby ones. So if you guys are wondering why I'm buying a drone or playing around with a drone or showing it in the video, me and my buddy used to have a hobby store / computer store combination. So we're not strangers to this. Jeff, the Hobby Revolution channel, if you go there, you'll probably see some of the stuff we were flying around and playing with way back. And it's just common for me to still have a want to play around with this stuff. So I haven't quite given up on the RC hobby as such, but more to the flight now instead of the RC car racing and stuff like that. So anyway, let's charge this up, let's try it out, and let's see how good or bad this really is. Okay guys, so we are outside here now, and we're going to try to fly this thing. I did do a test prep to see kind of what I was getting into. This does not come with any, I guess, bad. So first I'm going to do this without the phone connected. Lay it down on a flat surface like any quadcopter. Doesn't matter how expensive, how cheap, or how good. If they have stabilization built in, they have to be laid down in a flat area. Come on. Turn the controller on while the helicopter is on first. We are now connected. Now there is a one button touch where I can actually just take off, which is really nice, and it's supposed to kind of hold altitude. You see it drifting. Still working on that. I feel that in this copter, one of the motors is a little weak, causing some instability. But it's actually pretty, don't want that hitting my camera. Hopefully the camera's getting this. So it is pretty stable. I mean, I'm not going to say it isn't, because it actually is pretty easy to fly. So far anyway. And I mean, I am kind of, you know, a bit of a hobbyist, so I have flown quadcopters and everything before. This one is just a little bit finicky. I've tried playing with the like stopping drift, and getting there. It's getting there. And keep in mind, there's wind, right? And this little area that I'm in here that I built this summer, or had built, is a bit of a wind tunnel. So it's not overly windy today. So it's actually doing really well, considering it is not a brushless helicopter. I'm pretty impressed with that, because I expected a lot less, trust me. So now I can do the one-touch land, and it shut down, which is really, really good and safe. Apparently, if you press and hold it, it's also a recovery. So if you're about like a quick kill, if the helicopter is about to do something completely not cool, you know, kind of fly away on you, I guess, or do something nuts, you can do an emergency recovery. Quick look here, you have a couple headlights, which is really cool. I don't think that really lights up, but actually it does light up. I don't know if the camera sees that. And then you have a tail light, a blue tail light. So you're gonna hear noises around here because, well, we're outdoors and people drive by. So now I'm going to turn the camera on. I want to get some camera footage. So first, you download the app, which is in the pamphlet. You just scan it, whether you're iOS or Android. Very simple, and you're up and running. And I mean very simple. Then you go into your Wi-Fi settings on your phone, and you just simply select this as a Wi-Fi. It'll say that you're not going to have internet, continue anyway, and away you go. So now I'm going to go down. I'm going to start up this app. Now the flight time on this is supposed to be pretty darn good. I know when I played around with the first battery just coming in from China not charged, I still had 5-6 minutes of flight time before I noticed maybe it's not so safe to keep flying it, as it felt a little weaker. So anyway, let's go and connect. Connected without internet. And we knew that. So we're connected without internet. The phone can't necessarily try and drive everything. So here we go, hit play. And now you'll see that actually the camera quality is a lot better than I expected. You're going to see, I don't know if the camera's really showing you too much, but look, there's my foot, right? I'm actually getting a little impressed here. I expected much worse. So I'm going to hit record so that we are recording. Now I'm going to take my foot and put it in front here just for reference, for quality. See if I can get this kind of hover there for a second. Okay, we are now recording. Now we'll be able to see. I'm not even going to look to see what kind of quality we're getting at all. I'm just going to play around. And it can also do snapshots. So if I hit a snapshot button, boom, oops, and I wasn't paying attention and crashed. Now, if you crash, just like that just happened, so far I haven't had anything break, and I have crashed quite a bit. Away we go. Pretty good. So far I have to give a little bit. I wasn't thinking very durable, but the blade design with the folding blades is actually good. That is what is saving this copter right now when a crash happens. Its lightweight frame definitely is saving it. At first I thought, wow, this is really cheap. This is really built funny. But now I know why it's built the way it kind of is for lightweightness. I think Whoa, that was cool. Did you see that? So I was able to do a flip. And this one controls speed. See how much faster this chopper's gotten now? Much more responsive. So the left trigger controls speed of power output, and the this trigger will let you do some fancy flipping. Again, safe landing. Okay guys, so I'm going to go back into the office and I'm going to give you my thoughts and everything. I wasn't going to fly by phone for the simple reasons. Actually, you know what? Let's just give you my thoughts here. Overall, the controller is responsive. It does work. You do need to be ready to adjust your trims immediately. When this thing first takes off, it's all over the place. So highly recommend that. This trigger here is your flip. This trigger here is your performance mode, how much faster or slower it's going to go. These here, of course, they're your folders. These are for holding your phone. You want to hold your phone in place. Not really into that. It was cool to record, absolutely, but overall, that's not for me. This right here, I think, I never really played with it too much, but I think it does take you into a different mode of performance or whatever. But anyway, these here, this was my, wow, that feels cheap, you know. The fact that this takes 3 AAAs did not impress me at all. It just makes it more feel of a toy than a what they boast. Now, as far as quality on the camera, let me check that out, because according to them, it was a 4K camera, and according to me, I don't know if I believe that. So let's find out where this records. Let's see if it records in gallery, and it does. It's not bad video. Maybe it's the motion. It's acceptable. I mean, we're talking about a quadcopter that actually fits in your pocket. Do I think it's 4K? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do I think it's worth 50 bucks? Yes. So I put out some news to the manufacturer, the seller of this drone, and had a chat with him about the overall, for starters, I said weak motor. I find one motor, in my opinion, is a little weaker, but I was still able to fly pretty good now. It took quite a while for me to trim out to rectify it. At the same time, when I was starting to copter up, one blade wasn't turning, and I had to kind of give it a little bit of help at first, and it could have been just a jarring during shipping. It could have been anything that caused it not to turn or scrape on something to cause that issue. But anyway, that has been seemingly rectified, but I find that motor is the weak one. And why I say that is, I find it doesn't spin as freely as the other 3. Overall, I'll see what the seller has to say about that. I will update in the comments below later on in my video if it's already up. Let you know my thoughts with this overall experience with this seller and whether or not you should buy. I will also leave an Ali affiliate link to this copter down below. That's right, I finally figured out my Ali affiliation. Maybe I can get a few bucks from it for the channel. Who knows? But anyway, I thought this was a good, neat little idea for just something fun to play with when you're bored and you just can't be fooling around with a computer nonstop. You need to get outside. So guys, I know I'm a gamer, I know I'm a big computer enthusiast, but sometimes you need to just breathe and get some air. So guys, till next time, thank you for watching. Game over.